Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a great weekend. We certainly are. Enjoying the Commonwealth Games. Okay, guys, I have a very special guest this evening. His name is Mitch Hills. He is in charge of my social media team. He is a gentleman that I've got a lot of admiration for. Mitch came into my life December 2016. Would have been December, your first email to me. Mitch struck me as a young guy that had a lot of ambition and a lot to like about him, and very hungry. So he basically sent me an email with regards to my social media and the way that things are heading, especially in the real estate sector. And from then on, it was we've struck up quite a friendship. Mitch is quite a bit younger than me, so we'll introduce you to Mitch here, and he'll tell you a bit about his business and how he got started, and some of the key factors why I chose to let him look after my social media actually and take it to another level. So Mitch, how are you, bro?
Awesome. Thanks for having me on the live stream.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
By the way, great job committing to this every single week. I mean, I reached out to you December 2016. We probably kicked off January, February.
We kicked off at the end of January because Sam and I got married, and you remember you emailed me, and then I said, we'll touch base.
When I'm back.
And I gave Mitch a date in January that I was back, and to his credit, he rang me on that day. And he didn't text me, and he didn't email me, he rang me the day that I told him to, in January, 2017.
Yeah, and then since then, geez, we've done a live stream. I think we missed one.
I missed a few because, we went away on holidays a couple of times.
You caught up for it during the week.
Yeah, I caught up for it, I made up for it. But it's been a consistent thing that I've kept, and I will keep doing so if anyone does like it. Met a lot of great people through it, met a lot of great sellers, a lot of great buyers, and a lot of great agents and great people in general that, I've got an interest in real estate. So it's really broadened that, and I've enjoyed helping a lot of people.
And so simple.
Simple.
Once a week, adding value, not talking about yourself, just giving stuff to people what they want to know about.
2 iPhones set up here. You guys are probably looking at it now. There's
got
just
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we've got Facebook, Instagram going on. I'm trying to look at the screen down here just to see what's going on. But yeah, look, guys. So, Mitch reached out. So give us a bit of background. Mastered Marketing, when did it start?
I actually started the business because I had a tech startup before this, and when I wanted to have marketing agencies help, they wanted to charge me more than the company was worth to do my marketing. It was $5,000 a month for some Facebook ads. So I was forced into doing it myself, but then I did it and I was like, this is actually really fun. I really like doing this. And so I the startup sort of didn't go the way that I wanted, as you know, just lost a bunch of money there. But as I was doing it, I was like, the thing that I liked the most was the marketing, and so I sort of started doing it for myself and then doing it for other people, and then it sort of evolved and then went from web design and sort of transformed into where we are now, which is I just want to do cool stuff with cool people, and just want to, the mission, the business mission is to make world-class marketing available to small businesses.
Yeah, and I think one of your logo is make people awesome online, or is that
we make people awesome online, because there's marketing that's really cheap and sucks. And there's marketing that's good, but it's $5-10 a month. It's for corporate companies. You can't afford that.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do we take what these guys do that are too expensive and apply it to a small business in a way that can actually get results?
Yeah.
On a small budget.
Yeah. Our budget has gotten bigger since, obviously the bigger we've gotten and the more we've done, the more we spend. But that's our choice. But, it is a minimal thing, as we've pointed out, there's two.
In 5 years from now, you'll look back and be like, God, I cannot believe we didn't spend more money on.
Yeah, I probably would have, and I'll probably say that we had 2 iPhones, we could have a whole camera crew here. So look, guys, Mitch has been great. He's helped me reach a lot of people, and in doing so, that has really benefited sellers. I sold a house the other day, and the person wasn't even looking in that suburb. They had no idea. They were following my Facebook. They had no idea about the suburb in general. They sort of knew a little bit of stuff of suburbs nearby. Now, they bought that house off Facebook. So following me, seeing the property promoted, seeing it go into, what they're already viewing with other properties of mine, and thought it would be an affordable and a good option for them. So, I know we live in this world where people are pushing print media and print marketing, and could be bus stops, which I have a few of, or people draw dicks on and stuff like that. But that's another story. But there's all those sort of ways. But it really showed that even on realestate.com, like, they weren't looking on realestate.com in that suburb, but they saw it on my Facebook page.
Yep.
And they've come and bought it.
Yep.
So the reach you can get, and look, as I said to you recently, I said, mate, like, looking at, I was down doing some laps around Milton Park. There's a park called Fruit Park just down the road from us, and seeing a group of people get up, and straight away they're on their phones. Like, people live on these things that we're viewing now. Like, you can live your whole life on them. Your emails, your phone, your text, your camera that we're using right now. It's all in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
So what's the need for?
What's the need for the other? But it's just the way the world is.
It is, and they probably designed it that way a while ago, that so you can keep it all in one spot. But look, it has made everything more efficient. It makes everything now. It makes information readily available, and it's definitely what's going to be the next 5 or 10 years. So give us the benefits as well. I've just given one little example of marketing your property through social media means.
Well, the thing with print, traditional, that kind of stuff, it works. It's just really expensive and overpriced in a world that is so technology, online focused now. Like, I run a social media agency, and people think that I think that everything else sucks or something, and that's not the case. Like, letterbox drops, bus stops, that kind of stuff. Well, it still works. It's just there's this other thing that could be working way better. And the biggest thing, especially when you're selling a house, let's say you put roughly 1-page ad for a month in the Career Mail. How much is that?
40 grand, I don't know, 30 or 40 grand, I don't know. Depends which agency you're with, or what sort of deal, or I don't know. It could be, look, it's been a long time since I've done one, but say a month, I don't know, $40,000.
Right. Okay.
Depends if it's a double page and they've got different sizes. So it's not one size fits all. So yeah.
See, that is mind blowing to me, and it works, and you do get some social proof, and you get to promote yourself as well. But the thing is, let's say, I don't know the metrics on how many people actually read that, but however many tens of thousands of people read it, maybe 5% to 10% are actually looking for a home in that, like, they're not the customer, right? So with Facebook and Instagram, you can send ads to people who are specifically interested in that. You can send ads to high affluence people who are buying like a $2 million home. You can send ads to upgraders. You can send an ad to people who are interested in upgrading their home. You can send ads to people who are mortgaged, people that are married. I mean, the targeting is just insane. So not only is it more cost effective to reach these people, but the people that you are reaching are so more inclined to actually do business with you because they're already interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
You can't do that with print.
Yeah.
You can't do that with everything else. I mean, it's good, but why would you not do it?
And in saying that, look, and don't get me wrong, guys, we're not on here to to preach that that papers don't work and all those sort of things. We're just saying the benefits of social media marketing. I mean, it's pretty highly unlikely. Look, I mean, I've been connected with some people. Look, I've been connected with 2 buyers recently. One that I passed on to a buyer's agent. They were moving back from Hong Kong, and one recently I spoke to this week moving back from New York, and I haven't seen one. The guy from New York, Simon, if you're watching, great guy. He reached out through social media means. So look, moving back, his family moving back from New York. He wasn't looking at a newspaper or magazine. He was, online. So your reach is a lot broader, as well as being able to send links and being able to tag people and things also gives that sort of dropping the match in the in the long grass, so to speak, and it can really spread like Wi-Fi. And some of these videos, they've had 20,000 views, 30,000 views that we've done,
And here's the other thing you can do. So you can have a video that is targeted and all that kind of stuff we just spoke about, which is great. But then you can retarget people who watched like half of that video. So if they watched at least half of it, they're pretty interested in the property. So like that kind of stuff. And then you can retarget people with lead ads, and then you can do gallery. Oh, like the stuff you can do is mind blowing, and it's honest. I mean, obviously, there's a quote that says, "Don't ask a barber if you need a haircut." Because like on social media, obviously, I'm going to say that everyone should be on social media,
no, look,
but it's mind blowing that more people don't.
It works, and it works in all business. Because look, we get a few people watching this, Mitchell. A lot of people that, you know, they may look at parts of real estate marketing or, you know, some trends in real estate for their own business. You know, you work with some other, you know, you work with what other businesses you work with? Chiropractors.
Yeah, we just started chiropractic. We just did stuff for a non-profit, which took off like a complete rocket.
Yep.
Carolyn, if you're watching, awesome stuff you're doing. Just he started a thing called Mission Litter Pickup, which was just you wanted people to, when they're walking, pick up litter and share a photo of it, so they could incorporate the social sharing of things to clean up the planet.
Yep.
And we spend $20 a day. We started at $10 a day. I mean, that budget is tiny, and the launch post got 600 likes, 150 shares. Like, it's just going nuts, and then it's building a following, and everyone's getting, people are submitting photos. We've had like 100 people send in their photos, and this isn't like the first 2 months. It's crazy what you can do with social media. The key though, I mean, it's slightly easier said than done, because you do need the frameworks and know how to do all the targeting, and good content is very important, because you can be loud and annoying. You can use social media to reach a lot of people in the wrong way, so that's very important. But knowing when you combine messaging with the right audience at the right time with the right content, crazy powerful. I mean, that's how we've built everything that we've built.
Yeah, like, you know, we've built, you know, we've almost tripled in size, you know, as far as reach, and as far as, you know, since I've been working with Mitch in a year, you know, it's gone through the roof. And I mean, it's a benefit for sellers, and it's a benefit for buyers. I mean, we started up that VIP, you know, buyers club, because, you know, I get a lot of properties that don't even hit the market. And, you know, I've already had, you know, I think 37 people register for that.
No,
so,
I think less than a week ago.
I think it was Wednesday. So when was that? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days ago.
Yeah, you texted me and you said, hey, can we do something like this? And we did up a landing page and ran a Facebook ad, and it's already flying off the shelves. And we did Instagram stories too, which actually is doing really well. Yeah,
but it's about implementation. And it's a big thing that, you know, Dan, my business partner, he loves watching this every Sunday. You know, that we talk about, and it's implementing. And, you know, there's a lot of agents that will, you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, start up lately, and, you know, have their, you know, property page, and they started it up, and, you know, you've got to be consistent with it in whatever you do, and build that organic following. And, you know, it's funny, because I've seen some competitors that have bought likes or bought followers, and it's, I don't know, they might be feeling inadequate, I don't know, but there's a few that buy that sort of stuff. But, you know, you'd rather have, you know, 3,000 to 5,000 strong people that are following you, that are engaging, that are becoming a little bit of a community and club that benefits, you know, that are buying and selling in your area, than having, you know,
big fish.
10,000 people in India that are following you that aren't going to, you know, Pakistanis or something that are going to, you know, that are just paying for likes. It doesn't work like that, does it?
No.
It's not about numbers.
No, absolutely. And the thing is, you hear people talk about social media, and they're like, oh, there's 2 billion people on Facebook, and there's 100 million users a day or something, and it's like, that gives the impression that you want to try and reach as many people as you can. But the truth is, if you become super relevant to a small audience, so like if you're the biggest fish in a small pond, so like Inner West, no one...
Yeah, we talk about
close to you.
Yeah, we talk about this Inner West. We talk about, you know, Barton, Paddington, Auchenflower, Red Hill, Toowong, Indooroopilly, St Lucia, you know, Taringa. Like, this Inner West area is something that, you know, we really focus on. Outside of that, you know, that's fine. I mean, you know, Mitch has got some other clients that, you know, that I've helped him introduce to, and obviously, you know, they were a bit sceptical at first and said, how'd you find it? But, you know, look, being an agent and doing the right thing by the seller, you know, it's my job to be out there talking to the buyers and negotiating the deals. This sort of guy here is a legend. Like, he is the one that is providing all the content. He's the one uploading. He's the one targeting the properties into, you know, those various channels. And, you know, look, I don't know half the stuff. Or actually, I don't even know really what Mitch does. That's a joke. I know a bit about it. But what I'm saying is, he's a specialist at it. Gives me more time to do what I'm doing. You know, and, you know, look, some agents their assistants might be up on it, but, you know, there's a bigger understanding here. And I think, look, you know, run through with the guys and girls that are watching about, the change in the, what is it? Facebook changed the rules?
Oh, the
algorithm, yeah.
Yeah, no, internet marketing in general is becoming way more difficult. So Facebook recently did a big algorithm that had the marketing world up in arms about having less business stuff from brands and businesses and more about personal stuff. So you see more of like, Uncle's barbecue instead of Ben's post about, whatever. Which is, there's nothing you can do. Like, it's just the way that it works. And Google changed their algorithm so that annoying ads don't get popped up. And it is a good thing because people like you who play the long game and put actually interesting content out will now get to the top. There's no hacks anymore. It's not like you stuff your page with keywords and you're on number one at Google, or you like do certain settings with Facebook and then you get cheap ads. Like, now it's all actually about quality. It is becoming harder. And it is sort of like...
So they're making you work for it, Mitch. So they're making you build organic, build the bricks, as we said. When Mitch and I started, we said we're going to build the bricks, and it's going to be something that we're going to create to be, bigger than what it is, and the biggest that we can get it. But it was laying that foundation. So you're saying that it is pretty much impossible now for a business just to pay money to get up there.
Well, it's more about you have to do it the right way. You can't work against algorithm changes, and you have to work with it. And so right now, this is slightly off topic, but it's more about they want content that's more engaging and conversational, and as if you're talking to a person. So when you've got people just shameless self-promotion and just bragging and trying to sell, that stuff doesn't work nearly as well anymore as it sort of once upon a time. Once upon a time, you could put a Facebook ad.
Did it ever work that well, Bart?
Yes, somehow. And it's the same thing with Google. Like, you could just put, Barden real estate agent in a hidden section on your website and then put it in 100 times, and then anytime someone wanted to Google that, you would come up. But now their algorithms are smarter and people are learning, and that stuff doesn't work. But I think I just want to make sure we talk about how to sell a house on social media.
That's what we need to.
People are waiting for us to get to it.
Yeah.
So the thing with Facebook is and Instagram. So this is Facebook and Instagram. It's social media.
I need some more water. Thank you. San Pellegrino sponsoring today. Thank you.
One day we'll get sponsored.
Yeah.
So how do you sell a house on social media? First of all, you've got to know there's fundamentals that apply to any marketing. So like, who's the customer and who we're trying to get to. So it starts with you. Of like positioning the property, doing the normal thing that you normally would. So before we even get to social, it's like, is the property positioned well? Are you putting a price on it? Is it going to be an auction? Is it going to be private treaty? Have we got the right photos, video, whatever? And then you take that to Facebook and Instagram, and you can do video, and you've got to choose the right campaign so that you're choosing video views. So we could go, do we want people to engage with this, or do we want it to get out to as many people as possible? Mm-hmm. Do we want to target people that live in the area that want to upgrade, or do we want to target people in Brisbane that are, looking to buy? Or do we want to target people in Sydney? Like we did one, I think, with Greyer Construction. Yep. We wanted to target people in Sydney that were investing.
Big Rob and Andrew, they'll be watching.
Exactly. You can target people who are investing in property that live in Sydney who have an income or a property value of over $1 million. Like, it is insane what you can do with social media. So you've got videos, you've got galleries, you've got retargeting. So people that watch the initial video or engage with the first post, you can send them updates with what's going on. Like, maybe there's a lot of inquiries, or maybe it's going to auction soon, and you can keep them updated without bothering people who aren't interested. So the targeting is just unbelievable, the stuff you can do. So you want to have really great video, short, 60 seconds is great. 60 to 90 seconds. You don't want to have a huge 4-minute video where you're walking through the property and explaining, because they'll tune out. If you look at the actual analytics, they tune out after about 10 seconds.
I'm getting a lot of feedback from owners that they don't want, the agent, waffling on in the video about the property, because
it's about
have you found it?
Yeah. If I'm looking to buy, to be honest, I don't really care about what
you don't care about
the house. Like, show me the house.
Actually, don't get offended, Mitch.
That's all right. Hey, shout out to Darcy Lord if he's watching. He did it was a short video, and it was just pointing out bits about the property in the area and cool little pop-ups and stuff like that. And it was just about the property. He wasn't in it. There was no words. It was just, here's a really cool property and why it's cool, and well crafted so that it was short, well written and stuff like that. Because the more people that join social media and the more real estate agents that start doing this, the more competitive it gets and the lower the attention span. So you've got to make sure, how does your property stand out from everyone else that's trying to sell in the same area?
Yeah.
And knowing how to target that and how to engage in content, spoken in the right way.
Because it is easy, isn't it? Like, I mean, it was traditionally get your photos, put it on real estate, put it on a domain, put it in the local paper, put it in the Courier,
Yep.
and sit there and wait for the buyers to come.
Yes.
That's all that used to happen.
Yeah.
But now it's a little bit more proactive. You can actually get it out there, get on a VIP list. You know, you can interact, and you know, people can interact with each other. Like, that's the thing. Like,
oh, that's a big one.
People,
tagging people.
Oh, tagging people. You know, and that's the thing. Like, and that's a massive thing. You know, like I get a lot of the times where I put a property up, and it might have 30 comments below it, and it's just people putting people's names in there. So growing the database and also tagging people for that. Like,
that comes down to the objective as well. So I actually found that, and you and I would go back and forth about the ROI of social media all day long. But
I hate that word.
Me too.
It's stupid.
But one of the best metrics of success on social media is engagement. Because I've seen some. I was looking at one of my competitors, and they had like 16,000 views on one of their videos, but they had like 8 likes.
So they bought the views, or
no? It doesn't mean they bought the views. It just means that it wasn't like relevant to the people that it went to. So you can have a shitload of views on a video, and if no one likes it or no one engages with it, you're just sending it to the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where social media can sort of go wrong. But when we've got all these likes and people tagging friends and stuff, you're creating conversation. And then if you're selling a house and do you want to create buzz, you've got either right people, and they're tagging friends and they're creating conversation and they're texting each other. So if they tag someone and they go, hey, I saw that thing, the conversation and the buzz with a very specific audience that you're creating around a property just increases the amount of people that will call Ben to sell the thing. And then once they call Ben,
and that's the thing. And I guess in the world we live in, like, obviously my beautiful wife over there, Sam, we're about to have our child, very soon, and yes, thank you. So little boy, we're just over a week away, or could be sooner, never know. I've sometimes been at work, and Sam, has been working very hard up until the later part of her pregnancy and has recently stopped work. And, she might say, look, I feel like a Vietnamese salad bowl, and I can be sitting at my desk and I'll order it from there, and the delivery will come here from a restaurant at Milton. Mrs. Lou's really good, by the way. And so I can sit there and it'll be there within 5 minutes. So everything's so easy. It's all in the palm of your hand. And it might sound like it's high tech, low touch, but it's what people want. And as Mitch said, tagging those relevant people, you don't really get someone opening up the Brisbane News or, as I said, or a magazine or a certain paper, and then ringing their friend and going, hey Errol, have you seen page 67 of, whatever paper, the Herald Sun today? Like, it doesn't happen like that now. People are they want something, and they can do it quickly. Tag, send to a friend.
The thing is how quick it is.
Yeah.
And you can save collections and you can do all sorts of stuff. When you sell a home, what your number one goal is to generate interest, right?
Get as many people there as possible. That's one of the goals. It's obviously to get the most for the vendor. It's about getting the highest price possible. That is the goal. That is
Which comes with competition.
Correct. And it comes with competition. It comes from property exposure. So, what we're talking about is marketing your property. It's actually about maximising the exposure for your property on social media.
Yeah, because, the more people that see it, and the more relevant people that see it, is a big one. So you can, put it this way, you can have, what's one big listing you just have up, or you just sold recently?
23 Mahara Street, Barden, or 37 McCartney Street,
yeah,
33 Elizabeth Street. There's been lots, big ones.
Right, so how much was Elizabeth Street again?
$2 million.
$2 million, okay, so you can have a $2 million property and spend a lot of money sending it to the wrong person, who's never going to buy it.
Yeah.
And so with social media, what you want to do is make sure you send it to the right people. So that's the thing I was talking about with the traditional advertising. It's like you get a lot of exposure, but is it the right exposure? Like, is it the people that you actually want that may actually buy the thing? With social media, you can target these exact people with the right messaging and the right sort of content and get them to call you, because then the quality of the actual inquiries is way higher, because you're not wasting money on people that aren't going to buy or just wasting your time.
Do you reckon too, the relevance of it all as well, you know, with that, like you're saying video is now in 2018, is a much more effective way?
Yes, video makes up 75% of the internet. So video.
How much? 75.
75%. I think it's going nearly 80. It's video and mobile. So mobile first. It used to be, you know, you have to consider mobile when doing ads. Now it is completely mobile first. In fact, when you do a Facebook ad, the first thing it shows you is the mobile version before the desktop version, because everyone is on their phone. Next time you're in public, look around, and everyone will be on their phone. It's just the way that it is. I got into an elevator in my apartment coming here, and there's 3 people on there. It's like, it's a 10-second ride, and they're still pulling out their phone.
Mate, that's because they don't want to talk to you, Mitch. Come on, they weren't on their phones. We all know that.
But they're scrolling Instagram and they're scrolling Facebook, and they're never getting off their phone. So if you, I mean, yes, it is a little bit, you know, sad that we're more connected, but we're less connected because we're not having, you know, these kinds of conversations. But if you can leverage that and you can get in front of the right people, so let's say you're in public and you see 10 people on their phone, 2 of them might be interested in real estate. You can target that person, without targeting the others, with the right thing. I mean, it's honestly, when I talk about it,
he gets frustrated because it's so easy and plain to him. So, you know, when you are choosing your agent to sell your property, you know, it does, you know.
Find someone that uses social media like Ben, because it's such an asset. It's such an asset. And not only, if you say, hey, it's, you know, however much for marketing, you know that money is going to go so much further than, it's well spent. It's going to go so much further than someone who doesn't really know what they're doing. Because, I mean, offline, it's Ben's the best. There's nothing to talk about there. But it's that extra bit. It's like getting people to Ben in the first place.
Yeah. And I meet new people, guys. I meet new people every week through this platform. I meet new people through Instagram, as in, you know, people that are looking for property. I might get a message of someone that said they're breach of buyers, basically, you know, their cousin or their auntie or their long lost relative from New Zealand's looking for a property. I've had that before as well. So, you know, it connects people. So it's really good and a really fast, efficient way of connecting people. And connecting
That's the other
with
thing
me.
I wanted to mention. It's not always new people.
Yep.
They might say, let's say, this happened a couple of times with you, someone that you sold a house to like 6 years ago. You popped up on social, and then they go, and then it sort of goes, I should call Ben.
Yep.
And so you're not only getting everything. And it's like with, you do bus stops and realestate.com.
Yeah, I do. Look, it's not that, this whole conversation isn't about just social. I think you still got to do the other things, and you can still do it, but it's about optimizing and making your digital platform the best it can be, you know, and that can benefit the seller. And if you've really got your ducks in a line and you're really on the ball, and you've got someone like this with you, it's a very hard combination to beat, because everything is so efficient and it's so quick, you know. And yes, I have reconnected with a lot of people. The
other thing is that, as good as this is, you need to be selling the house, you know, not.
I'm not worried about it. I am a touch type of guys. I'm very simple when it goes, you know, that sort of way. Like, I'm not, you know, I wasn't even on Facebook for, you know, about 5 or 6 years, so I didn't even really was updated with everything that happened. So, you know, it lets you do.
And now you love it. You text me all the time, or like sending us Instagram stories.
Yeah. I mean, I like, you know, I look at it at night. You know,
seriously, you were bad with technology when we.
Now
you're doing your own. I mean, I had to, you know, walking through these stuff. Now you do this stuff on your own. You got your own ideas. You're putting up Instagram stories. You're killing it.
Yeah. Instagram stories are a good way, you know. They're a good way to reach people as well. Look, you know. So
there's a question there from James. He said, "Do you see that Instagram will push businesses down the same path as Facebook?" I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that question.
You guys are leading the way on the social. Yes, James. So James, Lily Bill.
James.
Yep, James. Do you see Instagram will push businesses down the same paths as Facebook? James, can you comment again on that? What does he mean?
I think I may be wrong, but I think you mean, will they use Instagram as much as they have been using Facebook?
Yeah.
Apologize if I got that question wrong, but Instagram is where it's at right now. Facebook Fantastic. Facebook and Instagram are so good, and you have to use Facebook ads to do Instagram. But Instagram is definitely getting more organic engagement, and I'm sure you would have noticed, like, we get more engagement on Instagram. Instagram stories are fantastic, and if you want to get ahead on social, you have to work with...
Has that killed Snapchat?
Snapchat is massive with teenagers.
Is it?
Huge. They love it. They almost don't even
I've never gotten into it. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they blatantly took it, but that's alright because it works. It works well in our favour.
Yeah.
But and that's another thing. You got to be careful when you ask me a question because I'll go down a rabbit hole. But it's way better to do 2 or 3 things really well than like 7 that suck. I see a lot of people that they sign up for Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and YouTube, and they try to. The theory is that if we get on all these, we'll reach more people, but really you don't because you're not focusing energy on one of them. I mean, we only started running Instagram ads maybe in the last 4 months.
Yeah.
And it has the statistics. I don't know if you read the reports. It's any of them, but
yeah, I do. No, I do. What about LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is like a professional networking place. So it's very good for educational content. More like they want to learn and they're more engaged. And LinkedIn is great, especially if you're reaching, like, your buyers might be executives or people that are focusing on that, like their career, and they're very career driven. It's less about an Instagram story of like the dog that you saw, which is awesome for Instagram.
Something you want it quick. You want it, like, I know the commercial world, maybe commercial agencies might get, I'm talking real estate terms again. I think commercial real estate. Sam was great on it. Like, they may have more benefit, but I think in the residential sector, I think dealing with people like, mums and dads, a lot more on.
This is another good point. Okay, one time I was at an auction, and everyone, all the people the agents were very well dressed. Like, they looked good, but they were like Harvey Specter. And then I saw the buyers come in, like the buyers who had the money, and they were all super casual, dressed like in a polo, and some were wearing thongs, and then they buy a house for like millions of dollars, and I'm like, they want to be relatable. So you want to be relatable. One of the biggest reasons that you stand out on social media is because you're relatable. You're like one of them. You're not this, glossy, slick, wear a $10,000 suit all the time.
And that's why it's be yourself. I mean, James is, James and I have become very close. Not that close, James. And that's the thing. You're relatable, and as you said, we live in, I think $1 Million Listing is a great show to watch, and it's really good, but it's made a lot of real estate agents into wankers that probably were wankers anyway.
There's a time and place. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that you should never wear that. I mean, your brand is...
Yeah, it's your brand, but, it has made a lot of people think that they are a rock star, not a real estate agent. Like, do your job first, and as you're saying, do that.
It's all about the audience. So, in this context, your audience doesn't want that. So a lot of those agents are thinking like a real estate agent and not thinking like a homeowner. And the same thing when you're trying to sell a property, like you've got to think like a buyer.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm sure you've got to detach from the home. Like, it's fantastic that you've had all these memories in this house, but the buyer doesn't care. They don't have those memories.
They don't care.
It has now transitioned from an emotional thing to a financial transaction.
Yeah. So
it's very black and white like that, and so that's a big thing. You have to understand the audience and what do they want. So you need to market it in a way that appeals to that buyer. Yep. So if you're a real estate agent and you want to get listings, appeal to the seller, and they don't care about you. Yep. They care about their problems. They care about my house. I don't know how much it's worth. What's going on?
Totally not.
Do I renovate it? What do I do?
And so they should. Like, that's it. Like, they should only be caring about that. They don't care about all the song and dance. They just want a result. That's all they want. They don't care about how you got there, what you do to get there. They just want that result and the best result, and so they should.
Yeah.
If you're getting paid a large sum of the money and, you've promised all of the service, well, so they should.
Well, if I came into your office when we first met, and I didn't talk about you, I just talked about how great I am.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm this and that, and I've done all this, and I'm just waffling on about myself, you'd be like...
No, Mitch came into my office and changed a lot of the ways that I thought about how real estate's perceived, how to sell real estate. I mean, you've taught me a few things. I know I've taught him a lot of things. And one of the great things I loved about Mitch and sort of attracted me to using him was his story, how he lost a lot of money. He lost a lot of money, and I love hearing about stories when people lose a lot of money in the way that he did, because he learnt by his mistake. And you know what? He had a really good takeaway, and he took a punt and took a risk. And as I've said it here, as well, the biggest risk in life is not taking any risk. If you live that safe under a rock, you're not taking any risk. It's very hard to get ahead. And if you don't want to get ahead, that's fine. But don't whinge and cry about it. But this guy here took a big risk with a lot of money for a young kid, because I call him a kid. And that's what attracted me. When he said, and it's funny, like you think if someone came in and told you a story about how they lost a lot of money when they took a punt on building an app, you think you'd go, like, this guy's a loser, or, geez, he mustn't know what he's doing. But I thought, you know what? He's had a crack. And that's what really I loved.
Yeah, well, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I hadn't done that. And then, that's a whole other topic in itself. But yeah, that's always a question.
James, Lockie, Grant. Lockie, how are you, mate? Have you seen a best practice example that takes potential buyer through the buying cycle and generating interest on social and then keeping contact until they're ready to buy?
Yes, 100%. So I talk a lot about this in marketing. It's the customer journey. So you don't just you don't buy the house online. You don't see an ad and it goes, hey, this is $2 million, and you chuck in your credit card details and buy a house.
No.
So you've got to take them on the journey. And one of the key things. So for example, here's a practical example.
Yeah.
We
love examples.
The first one, we see a video. It's a 60-second video. It's a very short, highlights only. It's not the big full copywriting thing. And then they're seeing that about the property, and their attention span is short, but they're interested in real estate, so they'll stop on their feet. They do not care about you. They care about property. So they're looking at it. They'll have a look. Cool, whatever. Then they see it on Instagram and they see a gallery. So they're like, okay, I've seen it again. Then they would click on the listing page and read about it. So now they're actually reading the paragraph and the write-up and where it is and the floor plan and stuff like that. And then they go, I'll submit an inquiry to Ben, and then you call them and then you do your thing. So there's a journey there. And social media is fantastic for that first part where it's like, how do we get this person to even know about this property? Because if you just went up to a random and said, hey, I've got a property for $2 million, you want to buy it? It wouldn't work. But if they've seen it 2 or 3 times and they've read about it and they've already done their own research before they even talk to you, then it makes that process a lot easier, and you can have more of those buyers because they've seen it everywhere. And they might see it on other places. So they've seen it on social, they've seen it in the letterbox, they've seen it wherever.
I hope does that answer your question, Lockie? You can probably give a like or a share if you do.
Sorry if it didn't.
Like that. Sorry if it didn't, mate. But we can put you in contact with Mitch about those sort of things as well. But yeah, no, we've only had the other question.
I'll give one more example there. So
give another example, Lockie, coming at you.
So this would be slightly more advanced, and the more ads you run, the more money you need. But what you could do is have a video. So that's the main video of your property, and let's say it's a minute, 90 seconds or whatever. And then you can retarget people who watched 50% of that with a gallery, and you can retarget them with updates and specific highlights about the property. So if they've already seen this video, then they might be more interested in the floor plan, they might be interested about the kitchen and all that highlights kind of stuff, the yard, whatever. And then you can retarget people who did that with a lead ad to say, hey, are you ready to inquire, put in your name, number, whatever. And so you're taking them on a journey, but you're not annoying people who don't want it. So you're only sending the retargeting stuff to people who watch the initial video, if that makes sense. I don't want to get too technical, but that is an example of being able to take them on a journey. Not only them on a journey, but without annoying other people.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that as that.
Can you, Lockie, I will pass on your number. I've got your number, mate. We'll thank you very much for listening in. Yeah, thanks. No, Lockie got it. That's
Thanks,
good.
Lockie.
Thanks, Lockie. Thanks for contributing and asking. So, guys, look, we've given a little bit of an insight. You know, we've got some really exciting things that we're working on. We're working with a lot of other, real estate professionals interstate as well. So, look, guys, send us a message if you do want some help in your business. And look, it mightn't be real estate. Look, this guy's a master of, he's master marketing. No, he's good at what he does, and I've backed him. And look, we've become very close friends. And that relationship will continue, and we will really, benefit our clients and benefit you as sellers, and connect the buyers and create a really good experience for all. So I hope everyone got a fair bit out of tonight. First time we've done the double Instagram and Facebook, so see how it works. As always, feel free to contact me during the week. Next week I'm a week closer to becoming a father, so if the baby comes early, we might be doing a live from the hospital. No, Sam will not allow that. So you will know she's smiling, she's half smiling, funny that. So I may not be doing a live if we are having a baby next week. But look, guys, have a great week and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you,
guys.